And here is the Writer's Almanac for Tuesday, August the 6th, 2019. It's the birthday of the man who discovered the antibacterial properties of penicillin, Sir Alexander Fleming, bacteriologist, born in Lockfield, Scotland, 1881. Came into his lab one morning in 1928 to find that he'd left the lid off a petri dish containing a Staphylococcus culture, which had become contaminated by a blue-green mold, and he noted that right around the moldy spots the bacteria were no longer growing. So he isolated the mold and determined it was Penicillium notatum. The children's author Norma Farber, born Boston 1909, wrote all kinds of books, nonsense ballads and stories and so forth, best known for As I Was Crossing the Boston Common, about a turtle who crosses the Boston Common and meets all sorts of animals on his way who parade by him in alphabetical order. It's the birthday of Andy Warhol, born Andrew Warhola in Pittsburgh in 1928. The historian Richard Hofstadter, Buffalo, 1916, author of The Age of Reform and Anti-Intellectualism in American Life. It was on this day, 1945, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima, Japan, the first time a nuclear weapon was ever used in warfare. It exploded at 8:15 in the morning at about 1,900 feet above the ground. Captain Robert Lewis in the Enola Gay watched the explosion from the cockpit and wrote in his journal, "My God, what have we done?" It's the birthday of Alfred Lord Tennyson, born Lincolnshire, England, 1809, who had a rough childhood, one of 11 children. The father was violent, mentally unstable, drank heavily. But the boy escaped to Cambridge, made friends with other boys interested in poetry, including Arthur Henry Hallam, who died of a cerebral hemorrhage when he was just out of college. And 17 years later, Tennyson published a memorial to him, In Memoriam A.H.H., came out in 1850, a book-length poem that was an enormous success, and Tennyson was named Poet Laureate and became a huge celebrity. He was one of the three most famous people in Britain in his day, Queen Victoria and the Prime Minister Gladstone and the poet Tennyson. Here's a poem by Dorian Laux, Family Stories. I had a boyfriend who told me stories about his family, how an argument once ended when his father seized a lit birthday cake in both hands and hurled it out a second-story window. That, I thought, was what a normal family was like. Anger sent out across the sill, landing like a gift to decorate the sidewalk below. In mine, it was fists and direct hits to the solar plexus, and nobody ever forgave anyone. But I believed the people in his stories really loved one another, even when they yelled and shoved their feet through cabinet doors or held a chair like a bottle of cheap champagne, christening the wall, rungs exploding from their holes. I said it sounded harmless, the pomp and fury of the passionate. He said it was a curse being born Italian and Catholic, and when he looked from that window, what he saw was the moment rudely crushed. But all I could see was a gorgeous 3-layer cake gliding like a battered ship down the sidewalk, the smoking candles broken, sunk deep in the icing, a few still burning. Family Stories, a poem by Dorian Laux, from Only As the Day Is Long, New and Selected Poems, published by W. W. Norton and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.